Hello, welcome to episode 20 or 21 of the Alec Steele Show. It's fantastic to have you back here in the workshop again. Today's a very exciting episode because we have an in-studio audience for the first time, who you will see in a second. We have two fantastic gentlemen from Sweden here and Phil from England, and we also have Sam here in the workshop as well. It's going to be a brilliant episode because on today's episode we're going to make a cupping tool. Now, the cupping tool is used for making... My voice is gone. It's used for making the round die on a rounding hammer. We like using a cupping tool because it means that we have to do less grinding, which is very, very important. The less grinding we do, it's a lot more fun, firstly, but it's also more efficient. So the cupping tool really helps a lot with that. My voice is very, very shot today. 3 days of teaching. I don't know, I guess my voice really doesn't hold up to that, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I have a piece of steel in the fire for a cupping tool because there are such little forces really put on it. You could use mild steel and be just fine. Very few forces are put on the cutting tool that mild steel would not be able to withstand. Now, I happen to have a piece of 4340 in the fire, Ep21, so I don't know, a couple percent of nickel, a little bit of chrome, about 0.4% of carbon, and it's 35 mil diameter, and it is 100 mil long, about 1 3/8 in diameter, and about 4 inches long. So that's good, it's hot. We're working out of a teaching forge with one burner on, one of these Australian burners that I'm really liking. And yes, you're going to notice that I'm trying to work the microphone. This is a little different setup. I'd love to hear what you think of the audio, whether you like it or not. So we'll go ahead and pull that out of the fire. We're going to pull that out of the fire, and the first step is putting a taper on it. Hey Sam, how you doing? Hey everybody. I'm going to read some comments real fast. Great. Fantastic to see you all. Brilliant. So, we might as well do this. I'm going to go ahead and pull that steel out of the fire. You'll notice it looks like Sam's going swimming, right?
I'm not going to the action.
Come on, you got to...
Little breaststroke. Front crawler.
Front crawler, there we go. Front crawler instead. Let me adjust this. Sorry if that creaks, makes some weird noise. If I put that pretty close, we should be alright. I'll eventually get this technique down. Right, so for this taper, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to hold a very obtuse angle with our material, and then Sam is going to strike at a very obtuse angle with the hammer. Ideally, the angle at which his hammer hits the hot piece of steel is going to bisect the angle of the point of impact. Really, when we're forging, if we want to forge as efficiently as possible, we want to be minimizing the surface area of contact as much as possible. And the way that we do that, as he adjusts his microphone because it keeps moving, the way that we minimize the surface area of contact as much as possible is by bisecting the angle of impact to the angle of the point of impact, if that makes a little sense. It's been a long day, okay? It's been a long day. So, make sure we're all good. Audio, grill, fantastic. Yeah, duct tape on the mic should be handy. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Guys, this little 2-second interlude. I'm going to electrochemical tape the hell out of this thing. Sorry for any noises. There we go. Oh, almost fixed. There. Then I'm going to get a hot piece of steel to cut the tape. A good tip is if you ever need a knife. No, Sam, this is way cooler. This is way cooler. Hot piece of steel works great. Brill. So let us know how you like the new mic, if this works. Well, it's not new. I've had it for a while. I use it when I'm doing it. I use this mic whenever I'm doing my voiceover stuff, tutorials and such. Let us know how you like it. If it works well in the workshop, that'd be fantastic. Right. Strike very obtuse angle. We're going to get that taper down. Then once it's down, I'm going to take a set hammer and we're going to strike edge on the inner side of the anvil to isolate off a shank so that when we upset it, it's hopefully going to stay relatively square. We'll see how that goes, Sam. You ready?
Ready?
Are you ready? He's got his 3M glasses on. I'm going to wear my 3M hearing protection, which I did get for free. Thank you, 3M. I'm going above and beyond. How is it? I'm actually going to... One issue I might encounter with the tongs, because these are a gooseneck tong, which are largely useless, they might contact the anvil. Let me just make sure I got a grip. Nice obtuse angle with the hammer. Yep, beautiful. And you see, I'm going to go ahead and switch to a nice close view. See that when we have nice obtuse angle with the hammer, reduces that surface area contact, means we get to forward pretty nice aggressively, even more obtuse to this sound. Now, if the material starts bending, the reason for that is going to be that you were not hitting with an obtuse enough angle. And if you just skip off and you don't hit the thing at all, you probably didn't hold shallow enough angle. Okay, right about here, I'm going to call that good. Now, we want to make that taper when we make this shank, and I went a little further than I had to. We want to make that taper when we make this shank, because if we do not, then we have a very large amount of surface area contact, and we go to the next step, which is isolating off the shank. Feel for it, turn 90 degrees. Beautiful. Feel for it. And we line this up. Notice we're doing this in a lower temperature. Whoa, sorry, Sam. Doing this at the lower temperatures. Just to lay it out and mark it. The idea when we're doing it at these temperatures is not to forge the material, just to lay it out, get it set, and see how we like it. Make sure it's all square. Back to the board. See some comments. Okay. So yeah, people are saying the mic's not great if you're far away from it, and we did some little bit of testing to see how it would work, and that's what we concluded. I figured the best thing would be doing what donkey, you want to make a donkey go down the road, take a piece of wire and you hang a carrot in front of it or an apple, something like that. We need to do the same thing with a mic. I think if I rig up a belt with a piece of steel that comes around and over and holds the mic right here, that'd be great. Sadly, the best option really is going to be an induction forge. I mean, or having the forge way off in the distance. You probably even couldn't hear that because I was a little more than 6 inches away from the mic or so. Hey, still working with it. This is a condition that's really difficult for getting audio in. If anybody, knows audio and has any great suggestions, let us know. One thing to note is we've had bad luck with radio mics because of the amount of feedback that's generated in here. There's a steel wall there, steel doors, steel all around. Feedback has been quite terrible. Trying to do the best we can with the technology that there is. Yeah, wireless mics do not work in here. That's what I'm saying. That's the trouble. Wireless mics don't work. Push up. Change the broadcast and make the change. You're gonna have to change the broadcast and wait. Good thinking. So I'm going to take that out and I'm going to keep forging it some more. And I'm going to try and see if there's a good place for me to leave my mic. Now that's kind of weird, but that's going to have to be how it's going to be. I'm going to have it right there, then you can hear me nice and well. Oakley dokley, nice and hard please, Sam. Thank you. Beautiful striking. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and pull it on too. Very nice. So, Evan left a comment there just a second ago asking how to get beginner strikers to strike well. There are a couple of things to it. Firstly, get them doing it. Encourage them to relax with the sledge. Encourage them not to worry about mishits, because mishits do not really worry. I mean, they're not worth worrying about. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Somebody dies? I mean, come on, big deal. No, that's the problem. You don't want anybody to die. You don't want serious mishits, but serious mishits rarely happen, even with new strikers. So, see, that kind of fits in there just about. That's what I want. That way it's going to sink down in there next heat when we go to upset it. But the best advice I have for a new striker is always the following. I'm going to put this back in the fire, then I'm going to come back to the mic. So, if you're a new striker, right? I think this applies to a hand hammer swing too. With your hand hammer swing, the best way to equate the two is bouncing a ball on the ground as hard as you can. There we go. I don't know what's the idea. Bounce the ball on the ground as hard as you can. If you were to take a tennis ball and you were to tell yourself, okay, I want to bounce this on the ground as hard as possible, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to envy a spot. You're going to get on your toes. You're probably going to bounce around a little bit as you amp yourself up for this, right? You're going to go up to the tippy tips of your toes. Your body's going to stretch up all the way. Your hand's going to go way up in the air. It usually might be a little bit bent when you're going for that, when you're going for that throw. Then as you come down to hit the ground with the ball, you crunch down. Your elbow's going to come down. Your hand's going to follow, and you're going to send that ball onto the spot in the ground. And you're going to bounce it as hard as possible. And your whole body's involved with that swing. Same thing applies when you swing in a hand hammer. You take your hand hammer, but it's a little bit less exaggerated. You take your hand hammer and you come with your toes. You're with your toes of your body. The whole body's in the swing, dispersing the force across the entirety of your body. Now, here's a great way to think about swinging a sledge. You take a basketball, two hands, and you say, okay, bounce it off that spot in the ground. What are you going to do? You're probably going to do this. You're going to take your basketball in both hands. You're going to rock forwards, back and forth as you're amping yourself up. You're going to arch yourself up way onto the toes. You might even jump off the ground. The ball's going to go up as high in the air as possible. The entire front of your body is going to be stretched out, creating like a spring. And then a spring, exactly. And then oh God, my voice is going to be toast tomorrow. And it was pretty bad right now. When you come down, it's going to be like a rope. The slack taken out of a rope by a car from your buttocks, as your buttocks hit back out, and as your body whips down, and you bring the basketball to its final destination. Guys, shut up! I'm trying to do a live show here. Oh man, that would have been way more intimidating. Shut up. My voice didn't break. Distracting me over there. Golly. I even gave you guys pizza. So, that's the same thing with the hammer swing, sledgehammer swing. You go for your sledgehammer swing, you're going to rock forwards, you're going to get onto the tips of your toes, you're going to bring the sledge up in the air, you're going to stretch out the front of your body. Then when you come down, you're going to whip out, pushing your bum out, whipping down with your hands. It's the same thing. So if you want to teach a striker how to swing a sledge, take a basketball, find a large expansive space, and tell them to bounce that damn thing up in the air a couple of times. I'm sure that's a pretty good way to get into it, because then you're letting them get confident, letting them relax with the basketball. And then hopefully when they take that to the anvil, they're going to be a little more relaxed, and they're going to be able to feel a little more comfortable swinging the thing with the power and the controllability that they need. Whoa! My voice hurts a lot. Anyway, now that we have a shank forged on this thing, it's time to get on to a more exciting part of this. Now, I frequently refer to this part as the funnest part of blacksmithing, and that is where we have 4 strikers all working at once. And there's myself here, and we have 3 of the fantastic students from today's class and the classes before it who are here. We've all been eating pizza and hanging out here this evening after today's class. It's going very well. And they're all going to come in a second, and we're going to upset this thing. Now, the way that we're going to upset this is I'm going to come out of the fire with it, right? I'm going to have strikers, one there, one there, one there. Hopefully we can keep a good field of view still. And I'm going to put it in the hole, and I'm going to take my tongs to the side. While I put it in the hole, the striker opposite me, the striker opposite me is going to take his sledge and give it a few taps just to get it going in. Once it's in the hole, I'm going to evaluate. Do I need to put it in any further? Do I need to set it? Do I need to straighten it? What do I need to do to make sure this is going to be all right? And then, I might do some few adjustments. I'm going to tell my team, okay, it's time. We're ready to forge. And I'm going to start. And it was pointed out to me by these guys today that I don't know my clockwise from my anti-clockwise. Because when I was explaining this today, I told them, okay, and then we're going to go anti-clockwise, and I don't know why we go anti-clockwise, but I like going this way. And I'm aiming, and I'm pointing my hands in a clockwise motion. And then Phil says, hey, Alec, you said this way, right? Yeah, that's clockwise. So I screwed the pooch on that one. That was very embarrassing, because I've said the same thing. and I've said anti-clockwise to many people and nobody's called me on it. I'm sure they've all noticed it. And if it's that obvious, I'm sure they all noticed it. And so there everybody is thinking I'm a goon, but that's all right. That's all good. So I'm going to come out, I'm going to start, and of course as the director, I'm dictating the power at which we're striking. I'm dictating the pace at which we're striking, and it's my role to say when we're done striking, it's my role to say, hang on a second guys, stop the thing, me to adjust different angles, that's my job, or at least my job to instruct other people to do so too. So that's the same kind of thing when other people are doing this, when you're the one that's manning the fire and manning the piece, you're in charge, That way you're the one that's kind of thinking about what's going on, and the tool belongs to you, when you're doing a class, you who directs, you keep the tool, because it's the directing that takes a little more to do, right? So we're going to pull this thing out of there. Do you guys want to come and take your places? Fantastic. Great to see you, Staven. Hello! Hello, world. Say hello. Great to see you. Bill, thank you very much for correcting me on my clockwise, anti-clockwise. Very advanced. Now use the small one. That one has a crack in the handle. I'm nervous about using that around other people. Health and safety is number one in this workshop, right? You've all noticed that. Number one. So, again, we're going to go clockwise. We're going to make sure thank you, I appreciate that. We're going to make sure that our hammers are ready and we're ready to go. They all know the drill. We've done this 4 or 5 times today already. Even with 26-pound hammers. Phil was desperate to try a 26-pound sledge. And I obliged. I'm like, okay, fine. We cut another piece of steel and we did it. But, are we ready? Yep. Great. This heat is sponsored by 3M Health and Safety Gear. Bright green, so you never forget where you are in the shop. Right, you guys ready? So I can drop it in there. Fantastic. Now I'm going to put my tongue to the side. And I'm going to have a look at it. I see it slightly off to one side. Adjust. I'm going to set it to this angle. My head to the right. I try to get set it a little more. And then very gently. We're going to start gently. Let's go. So I'll hit once. Adjust as we go. Great. Full cross section to force down. So as soon as it starts tipping, which I see it does now, I'm going to stop. I'm going to hold up my blood. I'm going to step in here real fast and adjust. Okay, tipping over. And now guys, I want you to direct your blows over on that side here. Hopefully that will go down straight. If it doesn't, it's going to be a jolly embarrassing live show. Okay. Not quite going down straight. So, ideally, this stuff goes down straight, especially when you're doing it live. It doesn't. So, I'm going to take it out now. I don't want to do any more forging. If I've already noticed it's not going down straight, I want to take it out and work out a way to solve the issue. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it back in the fire, and I'm going to take a really high heat, and I'm going to forcibly hammer that way. Try and straighten out that mass. No point trying to do it at this temperature. This temperature. My voice. It's not going to move at this temperature. Take your time. Hopefully get it totally there. Any good comments?
It's a gangbang.
A what?
Someone said it's a gangbang.
We made that joke a couple times. my goodness, my voice. Sorry? What's that? Heat frustration. Heat frustration, yeah, waiting for the heat. You know, I've come to learn that you Swedes have a really bad sense of humor. Probably just because it's lost in translation.
Yeah.
In Sweden, it's probably very funny. I like that that's now a point of joke. Ow. Golly. Right. Well, I'm going to see if I can fix this thing. No promises. Move this out of the way. Okay, so I pulled it over some. Looking pretty ugly right now. Big old angle on one side. It's gonna be alright, I think. I think it's gonna come out pretty centered. I think I've got most of the mass where I need it for this to come out alright. Now on a tool like this, it's not super critical whether it's centered or not. But it's nice, especially when you're live, to make something centered and not look ridiculous. Oh god. I'm gonna need to mime the class tomorrow, guys. You need to work on your sign language interpretation skills. Or it's gonna be Morse code. Ah, yes. Context is a wonderful thing. So these three gentlemen are taking my 4-day evolution and toolmaking class, and we're here in the workshop. What time is it? 10 past 8 in the evening. We just had pizza. Great hanging out here, enjoying the workshop. And we figured we'd do the live show a little early because we do have a class tomorrow again. So I need to be able to wake up before about 10 o'clock in the morning so I can get here to actually teach a class. So we're doing it a little bit earlier. We made cupping tools today in the class, and it went very well, and I figured a fun topic, because this is a lot of fun making cupping tools, would be to make a cupping tool on the live show. You guys ready? Set it in there. You ready? Here we go. Faster! Beautiful, great work, guys. That looks fantastic, and it's gonna have a certain degree of centeredness to it. Certainly much more than I could have hoped for after seeing that first heat. There we go. Feeling good, guys? Great way to end the day. Nothing quite like team striking. Glad to see my students are healthy. I think he's asking for help. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whoa. Let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and Great work, guys. And now, very anticlimactically, we'll welcome Sam Fowler in his swimming goggles again. Swimming goggles, proudly provided by 3M Health and Safety Wear. Now, I'm going to make a video about the stuff they sent me, because they sent me some great stuff, some health and safety stuff that I really like. But, you know, I have my points of contention with it. And there's no way I'm going to accept free stuff and not talk about my points of contention. So they will be noted when my voice is a little bit better and I don't sound like Alex Jones. Woo! Painful stuff.
Who's taking credit for the anvil then?
For what? Oh, for dinging the anvil. Oh, I ding the anvil. Coming straight across. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Whenever you come straight across like that, it doesn't take much to get in there and ding the anvil. Right, so the next step, right, okay, so, you know, with a cupping tool, we want it to be like a negative of this. This is the tool that we're going to use to do the final shaping on the cupping tool. We want it to be a negative of this. Now, this tool has a lot of surface area contact. It's a big all-round tool. There's no way you're going to drive that thing into a piece of steel without taking like 4 or 5 heats of lots of hammering, lots of surface area contact. It's going to be difficult to drive that into that flat piece of steel. So what we're going to do instead is, now, when you're doing most of your forging, you really want to deathly avoid a fish mouth. Fish mouths suck. You hate them, right? And you're constantly fighting them and you're having trouble trying to get rid of them. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes the fish mouth can be useful. That's what we're going to do with this. We're going to use the fish mouth to our advantage by heating this up and hammering all the way around the edge, all the way around the rim of this tool. And that's going to cup it. We're going to be intentionally fish mouthing it, intentionally cupping it, so that then it's just simply a case of taking a heat and planishing it out with this, and we'll have a nicely formed cupping tool. That's the plan. Usually works. This is a live show though, so and it's Sam, no, and it's me after a week of teaching. Right, YouTube. Somebody asked how many packs of cigarettes I smoked today. About 25 cigars. Oh.
Someone also asked what your boyfriend, girlfriend...
Oh my God. Like,
in reverse order.
Oh my God, it was in reverse order. Like, that was the last option. But come on, how could we... Like, I'm upset that that's even an option. I was hoping that this deeper voice would portray a level of masculinity that people wouldn't assume that. Okay. Grab my piece of steel. And then we want to work at a somewhat fast pace more than anything. I'm going to be working right here. Yep. Beautiful. The idea is not to hit necessarily very, very hard, but it's to hit at a consistent, fast pace all the way around the outside. Now, if you hit too hard, the tendency is you're actually going to be going ahead and forging the inside of the steel, where all we want to do is move that edge as opposed to the entire piece of steel like we would if we were just making a normal taper, right? Now, the cleaner the round when you upset this, the cleaner it is when you make your finished tool. Because of all that excessive hammering on the sides, there is a big flat spot that you'll see as that comes around. And I'm going to adjust the exposure on the camera. Sorry, that's set to manual exposure. There we go. It's coming all the way around it. Notice how I'm rotating very, very, very slowly. Tendency, what can really often happen, you're not gripping the tongs right. You know, he can hit it, and then you think you're rotating, it's just slipping. And now, you see the tongs coming a little loose. It's an unsafe grip. That's an easy way to get a face full of cupping tool. We're then going to come back around this. Beautiful work. Now I'm going to have a look from the end. Hang on. It's pretty round at this stage. I can adjust for round if there are any issues. Beautiful. Fantastic. Right, let me have another look. Okay, got one little high spot right about there. Yep. Just gonna hit that down. Then by here, we should have a nice round. Let me have a look again. Beautiful. We got a pretty decent round right now. Pretty decent round. It's all right. Certainly acceptable for the uses of this tool. We're gonna set it back in the fire. Then we're gonna take our cupping tool. Our ball fuller, our large ball fuller. Drive it in there, work it around, and get a nice impression in there. Trotsky! Whoa! Trotsky's here. I sound like a 40-a-day person right now. Man, tomorrow's gonna be bad. Sorry? Yeah, well, he said he was planning it, I think. I might have misunderstood. It's all good. Take all the time in the world, Trotsky. Great to see you, Jeremy. Great to see you, Jeff. Great to see you, Baldy, Lee, Jeff, Brian, Christopher, and Dominic. Great having you here. Thank you very much for leaving your comments in the chat. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. Okie dokie. Gonna get a brush ready. Good thinking, man. Right. Lay that down right there. You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
So this is going to be the last heat of the cupping tool. Now be sure to subscribe to the channel and do all that fun stuff. Do it right now if you haven't done it yet. I'm trying to speak louder to compensate. So, going down and up each time. Get tiring. Subscribe to the channel, do all that fun stuff, like the videos. I'm exhausted. I don't know why. Moving it.
No basketballs or tennis balls involved.
Well, no, there are no basketballs or tennis balls involved with moving the mic. I'll eventually become efficient enough with it that I'll have worked out the technique and I'll be able to spend about 10 minutes explaining it. Now I'm going to move it down. Right. So I'm going to want to be working around in circles. I want to have a brush in my hand ready. Keep the surface as clean as possible. No, down. Just turn it off. No, sorry, wrong one. The bottle. Yeah. I figured this is the last seat as well. Just gonna have to turn it off. Beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that down in the hole. Alright, put my tongs to one side. I'm gonna give it a good brush. If it's not coming off then, it won't come off. With every blow I take my tool away. And I give it a brush. And I want to work around it. Center it as best as possible. Now there's stuff in the way, so I'm not really going to go all the way around. I usually walk all around 360 degrees. That's alright, I'll just go through 180 or so. Keep brushing it, get that heavy scale out of there. Beautiful striking. Wait for it. Now I'm going to angle my tool to work all the way around the periphery. Very nice. If the striker is able to adapt to those angles, that's a very good thing. Take your time. Notice the pace at which I'm working. I'm taking my time. I'm taking it easy. The heat is a long time, provided we get that tool out of there. If we don't get that tool out of there, it's going to be taking the heat from the piece, and our forging time is going to be greatly reduced. We don't want that. So now, as I come back around the second pass around the periphery, I'm going to ask for some lighter blows from my striker. Beautiful. I'm going to start planishing the piece all the way around. Okay, now I'm going to take a hand handle wheel, go back to the side tool. If you just go around the edge, create a little chamfer with a hand hammer, that can help clean out any imperfections in the round. Obviously, as you saw from where we actually first upset it, there are imperfections in the overall round, so this tool, so we can visually deceive our eyes by making a little chamfer there, make it look rounder than it really is. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take my brush again. At least recently I've heard a little bit of water on a brush does a good thing. I don't know if it does, but we might as well give it a go and see how it works. Not really doing anything. Some light blows, we're just planishing at low temperatures. This is a tough material, so we do not want to overwork it and hammer hard at cold temperatures. I'm not going to do anything apart from damage the tool that we use and hurt our ears. Speaking of which, I should probably have hearing protection. This is actually quite loud. You'll notice this anvil has been moving a lot. As soon as I started the classes this week out here, I told myself, yep, I need to find a better solution for that. So it's either going to be digging a little hole and pouring some concrete next week, or I'm going to get some steel plates cut out, lighter steel plates cut out, bury them in the ground. Yeah. Beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna throw a touch mark in there. There we go. That is the cupping tool. As you can see, it's not quite 100% dead on centered. If you look there from the edge. Not quite 100% dead on centered, but I dare say that for where it was headed before we fixed it, that was a very good save. You can see the cupping tool when you're not messing around with a bad voice and trying to play with mics. Great deal of fun. Really easy to do, and really is a great trainer for striking. You'll find that when you're new to striking, you strike much better after having done a heat on a cupping tool. Much better. So, brilliant, fantastic. Let me read some comments and head off. What size stock do we start with? We started with 100 millimeters, a 35 millimeter round, EM24 4340. That is about 4 inches or so of 1 3/8 round 4340. Pretty tough stuff. You can use mild steel just fine for a tool like this. Very low stress for the size and shape of the tool. You can say hello. Well, look, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching the video. It's a huge pleasure doing these live shows. A lot of fun, despite the voice. And, guys, you guys over there, do you want to wave to the camera real fast? You want to wave to the camera? There we go. Guys, thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much, Stavan, Anders, and Phil. It's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're going to do some forging. And hopefully my voice will not mean that I have to speak in Morse code. Guys, thank you so much for watching this show. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode, which will be tomorrow, or the day after, or something like that. Anyway, have a great one. See you soon. Happy forging. Bye-bye.